Hi everyone. Today we are talking about reincarnation, and there are a few things that will help you understand that process, and more importantly, will help you understand how to use that process to enhance your life now. So first of all, reincarnation is not a process of coming back to the world over and over to try to pass certain tests and reach some kind of predetermined level where you graduate and then all the rewards of happiness come to you. That is not the purpose of being experiencing life on earth multiple times. Happiness is and should be available to you in each life, in each moment, and a unlimited depth of happiness is available to you in each moment of every life if you choose to access it. So that state is always available to everyone. Now, what happens, unfortunately, is the way humans experience life now and the way we have set up our society and our culture is with this idea that we have to do some horrible thing for an extended amount of time, and then at the end the reward will come to us from someone else, and that will be happiness. We'll get some kind of reward or celebration after our graduation. That is a very human way of looking at things from the society we're in now, and it causes a lot of problems because it causes us to get in that mindset that we're waiting for the end of something to be happy. So that's not why we come to Earth multiple times. The reason we come to Earth multiple times is to have more experiences and more moments that afford us in each one the opportunity to connect and feel that level of depth of happiness, and also to learn, but just to be here and to enjoy the journey. So the reason we come back, if we choose to come back more than once, which a lot of us do, most of us do, is just to be here and to enjoy being here and to enjoy everything that the earth environment offers you when you are here. So there is no graduation waiting for you at the end of anything. It's just the experience, and the experience is supposed to be good and will be good if you can let that in. Now, having said that, there is a lot to be gained if you open up your awareness to the process of reincarnation and other lives, because that can be a doorway into the larger you. So basically, if you look at it from this perspective, that you now, who you are, is not limited to your physical body and your characteristics that you are showing in this life, your specific personality, your name in this particular life. There is a larger you, a you that is energetic, that can and does exist without a physical body. And that larger you can call your inner being or your soul or your higher self or your larger being. I use all those words. That is who you really are. And that entity, that larger energy, sends energy out into human bodies to be born into human bodies in different times and places, and into different bodies to experience life in different forms on Earth. So you now, who you really are, has experienced life in many, many forms. You have experienced life as many genders. You have experienced life as many colors, as many nationalities, as many occupations, as inhabiting many different kinds of bodies, meaning you had different abilities, different mental mindsets, different beliefs. And what can help you is, in this life, is if you can take a step back from who you think you're limited to being in this life, and connect with that larger energy and open your mind to the possibility that you have experienced much more than what you think you have in the short time that you've been here. Then you can let those experiences into your personality. Now you can let them flow down through your larger being and into who you are now. And then you will be coming to life with a much larger awareness, much more knowledge, and a much larger perspective, and a base to live life from. That is much more aware than the one that you're living from if you limit yourself to what you think that you know from just this life, to the limits that you think are in place from just what you've learned in this life. So you don't necessarily have to remember all the details of all the other lives, what your name was, the country you lived in, the time period you live in. None of those details need to be there for you to connect energetically with the knowledge and the lessons that you learn from those lives. That is all there for you. It doesn't have to come through specific details. It's there implicitly in who you are as an energetic being. And so when you step back into that space, that inner space, you can channel a much larger part of who you are and experiences of who you are into a single body here, and you can talk and be and speak and act from that perspective of your larger self, which is able to connect to so many other people and races and places and times than you think that you can connect to if you think of just your life now. So there's much deeper connections. There are much deeper connections that you can form with people and with land, and with times, than you thought you could. Like, people naturally have different connections to different countries that are very, very strong. Pretty much every person has a connection to some other country that is sort of overwhelming sometimes for some people, and totally unexplained if you only look at this life. And that's the kind of connection and the knowledge that I'm talking about. You might not remember that you lived a life in China in this time period as this person, but you may just feel this love for that country and for those people. And you can feel it without the details and the memories of that life. So acting from that place will bring you to a much more a much richer experience of life than most people allow themselves to have. And And of course, the beauty of that, one of the beautiful parts of that, is it really brings back to us that connection that a lot of us have lost, or not lost, but have withdrawn from the knowledge of, that of how we really are all connected and all interconnected, because not only do we all have our own past lives, but in each of our past lives, we have had relationships with countless people. We've had lovers and mothers and fathers and daughters and sons and all kinds of relationships with all kinds of people in multiple lives. So not only are you connected through your own experiences, but all those relationships that you have, and most of them, or many of them, are back in your life in many different ways. At least half of the people that you have more than a short relationship with in this life, you have met before. So it really brings a much more depth to really everything that you do, and opening up to that can be very helpful in your life, or just make it more interesting. Any questions that you have about this, because it's such a big topic and there's so much to talk about, please put them in the comments below and I will be happy to answer them next week. That is all for now. Thank you so much for being here.